legislative process. I think I missed that class in school, and I think I've been an irresponsible adult. And I am also embarrassed to say that I was a social media executive, had my own business for over a decade, until I started to see the harm and the exploitation, and my children started to get older, and I thought parents need to know that this is harmful, and we need to learn how to protect our children from social media harms. So I closed my business, started the podcast, and thought I would be having conversations with experts and parents on how to help us guide our kids through social media safely. But I quickly realized that that is not possible, that social media is unsafe, and that tech companies have no legal liability to keep our kids safe. So I realized we need help through legislation. And I started interviewing senators and legal experts and attorneys and whoever I could get a hold of to educate myself and educate parent listeners on why is it this way and how can we change it. I also am lucky enough to have met heroes of our generation, which are parent survivors who lost a child directly due to something that happened on social media. In introducing these topics to parents, I found it really effective to tell stories of harm, which can be very hard to hear, but I think is extremely important to help parents see their own children in these children that we've lost. And then link that to the legislation. So for example, 14-year-old Zoe Gray, recently, she's very addicted to her phone. Her mom asks her to do dishes, and she says no. So as a consequence, her mom takes away her phone. They go to bed, and the next morning, her mom finds that she has died by suicide. And the suicide note says, "You shouldn't have taken away my phone." This is an example of the addiction that these companies are purposefully embedding into our children. And internal documents at Meta have shown teenage brains with arrows pointing to the areas of the brain, and several following slides saying opportunities and listing new functionality that can be added to create a dependence in our children. With COSA, for example, we can turn off the algorithm. That is the addictive part that really keeps them on the platform. So children like Zoe would never have been addicted, and this would never have happened if the platforms weren't created to be addictive, and COSA can help solve that. And every parent I speak to who has lost a child says, if COSA were passed, my child would be alive. And that's really all I need to hear, and I think that's effective for